Hi friends, welcome back to Nitwit Bioscience. In today's video lecture, we will discuss about the regulation of fatty acid synthesis. The previous few videos, we had discussed about all the steps, enzyme involved, about the fatty acid synthesis. You can check the description box for the link of the same lecture. Okay, today we will see what are the condition which favors or stops fatty acid synthesis. Okay, like any other biochemical process, we know that all systems, any cycle, these are very much well regulated in our body. If any disturbance in the cycle which takes place out of proportion or under proportion, that will lead to the certain disease. Okay, so in a healthy body, any synthesis process or breakdown process, any biochemical process, it takes place in a regulated manner. So whenever there is a requirement, the process will take place, and whenever there is no need, so it will slow down or it will get stopped. So that is known as a regulation of any process. And today we will see the regulation of fatty acid synthesis. What are the conditions which favors the fatty acid synthesis, and what are the under which circumstances this process will be slowed down or will be stopped. Okay, so this regulation of fatty acid synthesis, that we will discuss under the 4 different headings, or it is depends upon the first is the availability of substrate. Okay, first is the availability of substrate. Second is the allosteric regulation. Allosteric regulation. Okay. Third is the covalent modification. And the fourth is the altering gene expression. Altering the gene expression of enzymes which are involved in the fatty acid synthesis. So under these 4 headings, we will see how body regulate the synthesis of fatty acid. These first 3, that is the availability of substrate, allosteric regulation and the covalent modification, these are for the short term. These are involved in a short term regulation, and altering the gene expression, it is involved in the long term regulation. Okay, these 3 factors are for the short term regulation of fatty acid synthesis, and this is for the long term regulation. Okay, so first we will have the overview why body needs to synthesize fatty acid. So fatty acid, we had discussed that when fatty acid will synthesize, whenever we have the high carbohydrate rich diet, or whenever there is a well-fed state, so excess of the carbohydrate or protein, it will get converted into fatty acid, and that it will get stored. Okay, so from this we have the rough idea that during the well-fed state, when there is a high calorie intake, high carbohydrate or protein rich diet we will have, so in that case it will get converted to in that case fatty acid synthesis will take place. Alright, so that means we can say that during the well-fed state synthesis will take place, and during the starvation or during the fasting this process will be stopped. Okay, so this is a overview picture that during the well-fed state synthesis will take place, and during the fasting this process will get slowed down. So that will help us to understand the first criteria, that is the availability of substrate. Yeah, availability of the substrate means we'll have the high carbohydrate, rich diet or less fat having diet. Okay, so it will favor the synthesis of fatty acid. So in this case fatty acid synthesis will take place. So this will take place during the well-fed state. Okay, and during the fasting this rate will be inhibited, or synthesis of the fatty acid, that process will be inhibited when we are having the less carbohydrate or less protein rich diet, okay, or fat rich diet, because in that case already we are getting the fatty acid from our food. Okay, so in nutshell we can say that well fed state governs the synthesis of fatty acid and the fasting will inhibit the fatty acid synthesis. Apart from that, availability of NADPH, that is also depend upon the when we are having the high carbohydrate rich diet. Okay, so in that case there will be the high amount of NADPH. NADPH will be present, and we had discussed that during the fatty acid synthesis it acts as a reducing agent. Okay, so the more number of NADPH is present, so that will also govern the synthesis of fatty acid. So this is a first factor, that is availability of substrate. Second is the allosteric regulation. Allosteric regulation. What is means of allosteric? Any enzyme has a two site. Apart from the active site where the substrate will bind, another site is present, that is allosteric site, where the activator or inhibitor will bind. Suppose this is certain enzyme. Okay, so suppose this is an active site. Apart from the active site, another site is present, that is known as a allosteric site, where either the activator will bind. So if activator will bind, it will increase the process. If inhibitor will bind, so it will decrease the process. So that is governed by the allosteric. So that is also known as a allosteric regulation. Here the enzymes which is regulated by this way and which is a very important enzyme, it is acetyl-CoA carboxylase. This is very important thing to remember, because this is a very important enzymes which will regulate the process of fatty acid synthesis. This is the main enzymes, rate limiting enzymes or the committing enzymes. Acetyl-CoA carboxylase. What acetyl-CoA carboxylase will do during this process, we had discussed that it will convert acetyl-CoA into malonyl-CoA. Acetyl-CoA, it is a 2-carbon compound. Malonyl-CoA, it is a 3-carbon compound. So the conversion from the 2-carbon compound to 3-carbon compound means addition of 1 carbon group in the form of carbon dioxide, that will takes place with the help of enzyme acetyl-CoA carboxylase. Okay, it will convert the acetyl-CoA to malonyl-CoA. So this is very important enzymes or a rate limiting enzymes. These enzymes generally presents in a form of a monomer, in an inactive form. So the name of enzyme is acetyl-CoA carboxylase. Okay, this is present in a two-state, inactive state and the active state. Inactive state, it is present in a form of a monomer. This is inactive. Very important. And if it is present in a form of a polymer, okay, so that is a active state of enzyme. Okay, and this will switch from inactive to active form by the allosteric regulations. So we had discussed that there will be allosteric activator and there will be allosteric inhibitor. So for this enzyme, allosteric activator is a citrate. So in the presence of citrate, inactive form will be converted to active form. So citrate will act as a allosteric activator. So just we'll have the quick recap from where we'll get the citrate. Okay, so if you remember, after the carbohydrate breakdown, suppose this is a mitochondrial membrane, this is inside the mitochondrial matrix, and this is a cell cytoplasm. So what happens after the carbohydrate breakdown or protein breakdown? Ultimately we will have the rich acetyl CoA into mitochondrial matrix that will combine with the oxaloacetate, and we will have the citrate, and this citrate will then come out of mitochondrial matrix into cell cytoplasm. Okay, and ultimately it will get lyased into, or breakdown of citrate will take place into acetyl CoA and oxaloacetate. Okay, so that way the high amount of carbohydrate will have the high acetyl CoA, and the high acetyl CoA will have the high citrate. Okay, so that means the high citrate, it is an indication that there is a need to synthesize fatty acid, therefore it will convert the inactive enzyme into active form. Therefore the high percentage of the citrate will act as a positive factor, or the what is a activator of fatty acid synthesis. Okay, this will regulate the cycle in a positive way, or it will increase the rate of reaction. In contrast, during the fasting or the starvation, we know that the cholesterol breakdown will take place, or triacylglycerol will get triacylglycerol after the breakdown. So what we will have? Fatty acid and glycerol. Okay, so this breakdown will take place during fasting. So fasting, there will be the presence of increase of the long chain fatty acyl CoA. So during the fasting, so if already there is a fasting, so no need to synthesize the fatty acid. So the presence of the long chain fatty acyl CoA will act as a negative regulator. Citrate, it is an activator, and the long chain fatty acyl CoA, it is an inhibitor of this enzyme. Okay, enzyme is a acetyl CoA carboxylase. Okay. So next factor which is involved in the regulation, it is a covalent modification. So how covalent modification will take place? It takes place either via phosphorylation or dephosphorylation of the same enzyme, that is acetyl CoA carboxylase. Okay, so suppose we will write like a AC, acetyl CoA carboxylase. In the last we had discussed that if it is present in the form of monomer, then it is inactive, and in the presence of citrate it will convert to polymer. So polymer form, it is an active form, and monomer form is it is an inactive form. So same way here the phosphorylation will decide the activeness or inactiveness of the enzymes. So how we can remember that? If the phosphate is present, yeah, this is to remember. If the phosphate is present, yeah, so we can remember that it is having the burden, so it is inhappy. So inhappy form means inactive form. And if the no phosphate is present, then this enzyme, that is acetyl CoA carboxylase, it will be happy. Okay, so this is a phosphorylated state, and this is a dephosphorylated state. Okay, so in a dephosphorylated state, enzyme will be active. Yeah, we can remember like this, there is a no burden in his head, so that's why it is active. Here the phosphorylation will put the pressure, so it will be inhappy. So inhappy form means the inactive form. But which factor will decide the phosphorylation or dephosphorylations? So that will be decided by the two hormones, that is insulin and glucagon. Insulin and glucagon. First we will see the glucagon. Glucagon hormones will be released during the fasting state. Yeah, every time we had discussed that glucagon means glucose gone. Yeah, so that will take place during the fasting stage. Okay, so during the fasting this hormone will be active. It will activate the G protein G coupled receptor. Okay, and that will ultimately activate the adenylyl cyclase. Okay, after activating the adenylyl cyclase, ATP will convert to cyclic AMP. Okay, and finally it will activate the enzymes protein kinase A. Okay, so in a nutshell or in a short, you can remember during the fastings, glucagon hormone will activate the protein kinase, and protein kinase will do the phosphorylation, and phosphorylation will bring the enzyme inactive. Okay, and reverse will take place during the well-fed state. During the well-fed state, insulin will promote, or insulin will activate the enzymes phosphatase. Okay, and what phosphatase will do? Phosphatase will remove the phosphate group, so that why it will become the active. So in a short, well-fed state will have the high insulin. High insulin will activate the phosphatase. Phosphatase will remove the phosphate, so enzyme become the active. And during the fasting, glucagon is there. Glucagon, after the some cycle, it will activate the protein kinase, and protein kinase will phosphorylate, so therefore the enzyme will become inactive. Okay, so three factor. First is the availability of substrate, second was the allosteric regulation, third is the covalent modification. These three are the short term regulation. Okay, so these three factors, that is availability of the substrate, allosteric regulation and the covalent modifications, these are for the short term regulation of fatty acid synthesis. Here what we are doing is, either we are making enzyme powerful or we are making him less powerful, so that the process will inhibit it. But this for the short term. But for the long term regulations, when we have the prolonged high calorie diet, high calorie or protein rich diet is present, in that case only the powerful enzyme will not work. We need the more number of enzymes, and the more number of enzymes, it will be done by altering the gene expression. Okay, sir. So here two enzymes, one is the acetyl CoA carboxylase and the second one was the fatty acid synthase. Okay, so during the well-fed state, high calorie, prolonged high calorie diet, high carbohydrate rich diet is present. High calorie diet, so it will increase the expression of these genes. Okay, so we will have the more number of acetyl CoA carboxylase and the fatty acid synthesis, and we will have the more fatty acid synthesis will take place, and the reverse will be the case if there is a starvation or the fastings, so that will inhibit the gene expression of this enzyme. Okay, so this is the fourth factor, that is altering the gene expression. Altering the gene expression. So these are the four factors which is useful in the regulation of fatty acid synthesis. Altering the gene expression, it is useful for the long term. Okay, and earlier three was the short term. Okay, so this is all about the synthesis of fatty acids. For the previous videos, you can check my description box. Okay, thank you.